Next item here, motion by Senator John Kelly, need for the Minister for Justice, Equality and Establishment Commission on inquiry into murder. You have 4 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister, you're welcome into the House again. And as you know, Minister, I have great respect for yourself. And I just want to say that, I know that this motion is not your area of expertise, that you're taking it for the Minister for Justice. So I am disappointed that the Minister is not in the House to deal with this, because he's very familiar with this whole case that has been going on for 28 years. And it is quite serious. It's an issue that needs to be resolved. And I think the life and reputation of people have to be restored. I just want to, in the absence of Minister Shatter, who I do think is a man of integrity and honesty, I do want to put the following on the records of this House, Minister. First of all, we have to bring closure to the brutal murder of, the case of the brutal murder of Father Niall Molloy in 1985. The family require it. As I said, Father Molloy lost his reputation and his life by attending a wedding in Clara in County Offaly. Father Molloy was a Roscommon man that everybody knew, loved and respected. He was actually Roscommon Man of the Year that particular year, 1985. And as we speak 28 years later, there are far too many unanswered questions in relation to the case. And I think the Molloys deserve justice. Apart from the fact that there was apparently a senior Fianna Fáil minister in attendance at the wedding on that occasion, there was also the case that a post-mortem was signed thereafter by a doctor that doesn't exist. The judge that heard the case had a clear conflict of interest, as he was a friend of the accused. The judge. This is all on public record. This is all on public record.
I don't want you or any member. I've already chastised somebody. I don't want you to use this House by way of your parliamentary privilege to impugn
anybody's name, Chairman.
Well, you're using such a way that it's very easy to identify them.
These are all on public record.
It's very easy to identify them.
It's all on public record.
I'm just putting on notes. Don't abuse the privilege of the House.
I'm trying not to.
Well, you're trying. I think you're trying too. But anyway,
I most certainly am.
Just be very careful. I'm in a difficult situation
I would be mentioning names, and I'm purposely not mentioning names.
Well, see, sometimes by narrowing it down to certain individuals, you don't have to mention the name. So I'm just being careful, because it's we don't want the House impugned.
Thank you, Chairman. In any case, during the trial, Minister, a senior medical professional was asked, is it possible that Father Niall Molloy could have died of a heart attack, which is quite possible? When the answer was yes, he could have died of a heart attack, the judge directed that the jury be dismissed, and that they found the accused not guilty of manslaughter. Since then, there has been damning statements from circuit court judges, who I will not mention, but I have their names here, who were critical of the fact that the judge did take that case. There has been senior Gardaí that have been critical of the Garda investigation into the murder investigation. A prominent surgeon who was in attendance at the wedding said that his life was in turmoil, having witnessed the murder, and that he couldn't live with himself, and he died a few weeks later at the age of 50. Other Gardaí in recent times have come out in support of another investigation. The Catholic Church wanted the case reopened. There was files during the whole investigation robbed from the DPP's office by Martin Cahill in relation to Father Molloy's murder. Veronica Guerin's home was shot at when she raised her head on this issue. Paul Williams has written a book called Bedfellows, where he's chronicled everything that actually did happen. Nobody has challenged anything that was in his book to date. So, quite apart from the Garda inquiry by the cold case squad, Minister, that apparently has concluded, as of the Sunday Times last Sunday, that there was no cover-up, apart from that, I'm after giving you about 12 good reasons why we should set up an independent commission of investigation. And I'll give you one other good reason, Minister, why we should do it. Prior to the general election, both Fine Gael and Labour vowed to if they got into power, that they would give it that it would be priority that an investigation into the death of Father Molloy would take place. It would be a priority. So what's happening, just to finalise here, Minister, the credibility of the institutions of this state are at stake here. And there's only one way to restore confidence in those institutions, Minister. And I would like to think that the Minister would not shatter public confidence in our institutions by not sanctioning this independent commission of inquiry. The Molloy family, Father Molloy, his friends, neighbours and the people of the country deserve it. And as Shakespeare once said, something's rotten in the state of Denmark. Well, I'd say if he was in Ireland in the mid-80s, Denmark would get off the hook.